Hello and welcome to my channel, Horse Knowledge Explained Clearly. I'm so glad you're here again today, or maybe for the first time. I am Christine, a veterinarian, and in this video, we'll be looking at the topic of feed supplements for horses. What really makes sense, what's more like marketing, and what should you pay attention to protect your horse? My goal is to explain the often complicated information from science and practice in a way that you can easily apply in the stable for a healthy, willing, and happy horse. Let's get right to it. I'm so glad you're taking the time to navigate this veritable jungle of horse feed, because that alone shows how important your horse's health is to you. Today, I'd like to guide you through an area constantly bombarded with marketing slogans for all sorts of feed supplements for our horses. We live in a time where feeding management has become significantly more complex. Our horses today often no longer live in their original environment. Hay quality varies greatly from region to region, and in many areas, the soil is depleted and no longer contains all the nutrients horses need. At the same time, increased training and the presentation of horses at various events have significantly raised the performance demands placed on them. I know you only want the best for your horse. Hardly any shelf in equestrian supplies is as full as the one with feed buckets, and the promises are often grand. A shiny coat, strong joints, more energy. In online shops, the selection seems even more endless, and it's easy to lose track. But what's really behind it all? What's useful, what's superfluous, and what might even be harmful? Can a well-intentioned purchase of feed supplements lead to excessive supplementation that empties your wallet without actually helping your horse, or, in the worst-case scenario, puts a strain on your horse's metabolism? My goal today is to give you a neutral yet easily understandable foundation so you can make informed decisions and feel confident when faced with all those buckets of feed supplements or scrolling through offers online. We'll look at the ingredients, discuss the pros and cons, and explain how to use them correctly. We'll also talk about the proper storage of feed supplements, especially sensitive vitamin solutions and oils, because these can deteriorate or become rancid very quickly and then lose their effectiveness, and unfortunately, this is all too common with products that have long supply chains and improper packaging. Think of me today as your personal nutritionist for your horse, helping you to read labels correctly, understand marketing claims, and shift your approach to feeding from speculation to facts. You shouldn't leave feeling confused, but rather with the confidence that you can make conscious decisions that are in your horse's best interest. Let's start with a crucial distinction, because in everyday language, everything is often lumped together. First, we will clarify the difference between so-called feed additives and feed supplements. Feed additives are substances added to animal feed during production. These include preservatives that prevent mold growth, antioxidants that protect fats from becoming rancid or spoiling, and binders that ensure feed pellets remain stable and don't simply disintegrate. There are also additives in the form of natural or nature-identical flavorings such as apple or carrot. Another group of feed additives consists of trace elements, amino acids, and vitamins, which are added to concentrated feed to ensure it meets nutritional requirements. All of these additives are an integral part of muesli or pellets and are added to the finished feed mixtures during the manufacturing process. In contrast, feed supplements are the buckets, powders, and liquids that you can buy and feed in addition to your horse's basic feed. These products are officially called feed supplements and are particularly interesting to us because you can specifically select them to supplement your horse's daily ration. You can buy them as single feeds, such as pure linseed, or as mixed feeds, for example, joint powder. Such feed supplements are intentionally used to fill a temporary or permanent gap in the daily feed ration or to support a specific bodily function, such as joint metabolism, hoof growth, or other areas. They are used specifically when there is a deficiency or a special need, for example, in case of illness, during growth, breeding, or when the horse is under particular strain. The focus here is on therapeutic or prophylactic use for the individual horse. Now things get interesting because we're going to talk about why not all supplements are created equal and why it's so important to choose high-quality products. Feed supplements from online retailers or wholesalers often sound attractive at first glance: large buckets, low prices, promising descriptions. In practice, however, many of these products contain only low concentrations of the advertised active ingredients. The ingredients sound good, but the amounts per daily dose are often so low that they have hardly any noticeable effect in the case of a genuine deficiency. So you're paying for the satisfaction of doing something without actually providing your horse with sufficient nutrients. The bottom line is, online retailers can't fully assess this individual need because they usually offer standard preparations that are generally intended for all horses but aren't specifically tailored to your horse. Your veterinarian is the most important person to consult to determine your horse's actual needs. Through blood tests, hay analysis, or soil analysis, they can assess which supplements are beneficial and which are unnecessary or even risky. High-quality supplements available through your veterinarian or specialized suppliers are therefore formulated with significantly more care in terms of composition and dosage. They typically contain the relevant active ingredients in higher and, above all, appropriately balanced concentrations, are designed for specific areas such as muscles, joints, that health, hooves, or breeding phases, and their labeling is clear and transparent. The bottom line: feed supplements should always be selected specifically for your horse with the help of your veterinarian and should not be purchased online or from wholesalers for just any horse. Another huge difference lies in storage, transport, and packaging. Many of the valuable ingredients we use in feed are quite sensitive. Fats and oils, especially omega-3 rich oils like linseed oil, react very quickly with oxygen, light, and heat. They oxidize, become rancid, and not only lose their beneficial properties, but can even be harmful because breakdown products are formed that put a strain on the organism. Vitamins, especially vitamin E, are also sensitive to light and heat and gradually degrade if stored improperly. The label might still show a nice number, but the contents of the bucket or bottle are far from what you want to give your horse. Animal feed or feed supplements for your horse are usually produced in large feed mills. Products sold online or through wholesalers often face very long transport routes and storage times after production. After production, they are first stored in a large central depot. From this central depot, they are distributed via intermediate storage facilities to various parts of the country. Ultimately, the animal feed now needs to be redistributed to other storage facilities. From there, they are either transported to a shipping warehouse, from which they are sold via the internet, or they go to a central warehouse that supplies the wholesalers in your region. From the wholesaler, these feedstuffs finally arrive at the local feed store. At the local feed store, the feedstuffs will be ready for you and your horse. Since local feed suppliers want to offer a certain selection and have to compete with online retailers, they usually keep large quantities of feed and feed supplements in stock, as their purchase price is correspondingly lower. In the summer, the products are often stored in warehouses without automatic temperature control. Alternatively, they are frequently placed on shelves under fluorescent lights or even in direct sunlight. So all these products have traveled very long distances before they eventually arrive at your stable. If you then buy very large containers that sit in a warm feed room for months, it's a short step from a high-quality product to rancid, low-potency contents. You see the oil in the canister and the vitamins on the label of your feed supplement containers, but your horse is primarily getting oxidized fats and partially degraded vitamins. Oils are often packaged in transparent or light-colored canisters and are not adequately protected from light or heat. This is precisely where high-quality supplements obtained through your veterinarian have a significant advantage. They are predominantly produced in smaller, more carefully calculated batches and packaged in light-protected bottles or canisters. They are delivered directly to the veterinarian's in-house pharmacy under constant temperature control, minimizing damage to sensitive ingredients. Your veterinarian ensures that the expiration date and storage conditions are correct and can advise you on how long a product should be used after opening and how to best store it. So you're not just getting any old bucket, but rather the opportunity to receive a fresh, effectively formulated product that hasn't been sitting around in some middleman for months. This greatly increases the likelihood that the active ingredients you're paying for will actually reach your horse's feed trough in an effective quantity. That's why it's worthwhile to obtain feed supplements directly from your veterinarian. They are usually more concentrated, offered fresher, don't have long transport routes, and therefore suffer significantly less loss of valuable nutrients. They have been specifically selected for your horse. Standard products from wholesalers or online retailers often contain only small amounts of active ingredients and therefore rarely achieve the desired effect. Your horse deserves a diet tailored to its needs, and only the veterinarian who personally cares for it and has evaluated the analyses related to your horse's health knows these needs. Product offerings aimed at the masses are primarily geared towards sales-oriented marketing strategies, not what your horse truly needs. The market is huge, and unfortunately, many products are expensive but contain only minimal amounts of the advertised active ingredients, or their effectiveness is not scientifically proven. Make sure that analytical constituents and additives are fully and transparently declared. The problem arises when you spend a lot of money, see no effect, and in the worst-case scenario, delay necessary veterinary treatment because you think the supplement will help. What tips are there for the application, dosage, and storage of feed supplements? Finally, here are a few important practical tips to ensure you're on the safe side and get the most out of your feed supplements. The golden rule is analyze, don't speculate. Don't buy supplements on a whim because your neighbor's horse is getting them or because your best friend recommended them. Have your hay analyzed once a year. This is the basic ration and foundation for your horse's diet. This will immediately show which minerals, such as zinc or copper, are deficient and what the calcium-phosphorus ratio is. Then have a professional assess your horse's entire daily basic feed ration, including hay, concentrated feed, and your basic mineral supplement. If you're having trouble calculating the required daily dose for your horse, your veterinarian will be happy to help. Ultimately, a blood test allows them to provide targeted supplements with the correct levels of essential nutrients to quickly and effectively address any deficiencies in your horse. For unclear symptoms such as a poor coat, lethargy, hoof problems, and other illnesses, have a veterinarian perform a comprehensive blood test, including trace element analysis. This will reveal exactly what your horse needs. To get the most benefit from these supplements, proper use is just as important as quality. Follow your veterinarian's dosage recommendations. Don't expect miracles overnight. Hoof supplements like biotin take about 9 to 12 months for the hoof to fully grow out. Supplements for joint metabolism require at least 4 to 8 weeks before you notice a change. When wisely selected, correctly dosed, fresh, and properly stored, feed supplements can make a significant difference over time. Proper storage in your stable is just as important. If you've purchased an expensive feed supplement, don't leave it open in the warm feed room. Carefully reseal every bottle, tube, or container after each use. Wipe off any residue that sticks to the outside or runs down the side to prevent it from drying, becoming moldy, or ending up in your horse's next feed along with dust and insects. Moisture, heat, and light are the biggest enemies of many active ingredients. Powders can clump and mold due to moisture. Sensitive vitamins degrade much faster in heat and light. Oils like linseed oil oxidize if stored improperly, becoming rancid and therefore harmful. Therefore, oils, especially in summer, should be stored in the refrigerator and used within about 2 months of opening. Products supplied in dark bottles or containers are clearly advantageous here, as they protect the contents better from light. When you buy supplements from wholesalers or online retailers, people often choose far too large containers simply because the price per kilogram seems cheaper. But what good is a low price per kilogram if a large portion of the contents loses its effectiveness before you've used it all up? It makes more sense to buy smaller quantities of high-quality products that you'll use up within a reasonable time frame and that you can be sure still contain effective ingredients. Your veterinarian can help you choose the right container size for your needs, calculate the dosage, and tell you how long the product remains effective. In closing, I want to encourage you once again. You don't have to navigate this feed jungle alone. You don't have to memorize every product label or see through all the advertising claims. Utilize your veterinarian's expertise, have your hay analyzed, get a blood test done if necessary, and talk openly about your goals and concerns regarding your horse's nutrition. This way, you can work together to select high-quality supplements that are truly suited to your horse, correctly dosed, stored fresh and properly, and therefore have a real effect. I hope this overview helps you to be more critical, yet also more confident, when choosing feed and choosing the right feed. My most important advice as a veterinarian is always feed the horse first, then treat the illness. Ensure excellent roughage and sufficient exercise, and use high-quality, carefully selected feed supplements as subtle, effective adjustments, not as a random collection of feeds from general wholesalers or online retailers. If you have questions about a specific product or your horse's nutritional needs, please feel free to contact me or an independent feed expert at any time. Your product choices should not be based on appealing advertising, but on facts, experience, and genuine care. And that brings us to the end for today. I'm so glad you stuck with me this far and took the time to learn about this important topic. If this video has helped you understand your horse and its needs a little better, I'd really appreciate a like. That way other horse lovers will see that this video is worth watching. If you generally like my style of explanation, please subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my future videos about your horse's health, feeding, and well-being. Feel free to leave a comment letting me know what questions you still have or what topics you'd like me to cover in future videos. That way I can tailor the content even better to you and your horse. Thank you so much for watching and for your trust. I hope you'll join me again next time, so we can continue working together towards a healthy and happy life for your horse.